Hello, hello. It is now 7:59. This is Dr. Grace on Medical Monday. We'll be starting here shortly. I am so excited about tonight's show. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Woo! So let me tell you a little bit about me for those of you on here for the first time. My name is Dr. Grace Patterson, MD. Yes, I am the owner Bethesda Holistic Center in Southfield, Michigan, where we do a myriad of services. Yes, we do. One that's near and dear to my heart is the visiting home portion that we do for our seniors and our sick and shut in and disabled. And we also do a myriad of services, alternative wise, through our concierge services. Yes. So tonight I have a special guest that will be on tonight. I'm so excited. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit time to chime in and chime on a little bit. Here is exactly 8 o'clock now. I just wanted to get on here a little bit earlier to give you guys a chance to get in and get some what do we call that? Get some business out of the way before we get started. So my office is located in Southfield, Michigan at 21411 Civic Center Drive, and that is Southfield, Michigan 48076. And our telephone number is 248-356-1111. That's 248-356-1111. And our website is Hey Tanisa, thank you for joining on. Love ya. www.bw-center.com. That is our website. Please go and check our website out. Hey, Susan Thompson, how are you? How you doing, Sue? It's nice to see you. We got to chat so we could catch up. I mean, I knew you when Tanisa was very, very little. So we need to catch up. I need to talk with you and see how things are going with you and the fam. But thank you for signing on. Please, as you come on, please invite and share. And I just gave you our website, which is www.bwcenter.com. Now, what I want you to do is go get our download information tonight, because we're going to be talking about more hair tonight. Yes. Hopefully you guys can see my hair. I'm going to have my stylist on soon, so we can talk about that. And the reason why we call it more hair, I'm gonna get a little bit into that when I have DEZ on from Suede Style Lounge in a moment, as you guys chime in and sign on. Please invite and share. So we're calling it more hair tonight, fellas. You guys, under the sound of my voice, some of you are having some hair challenges too. Yes, you are. So we're not leaving you out. So, there's male pattern baldness and all that other good kind of stuff. We're going to address all of that tonight. And I'm going to give it from the medical perspective. And Des is going to be talking about from the hair care perspective. So we're going to talk about healthy hair from the inside out. So please invite and share. Hey, Desi. Hey, I see you. I'm going to see if I can send you the invite so we can see if we can see you, Desi, on camera. Yeah.
Started. Hey, Des, I can see you. Hey, I love you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
So, I was just giving them a little bit of insight about what I do, and we're calling tonight more hair. And I remember sharing that with you. Do you remember why every time you do my hair, I say more hair? Do you remember why?
More money, more business.
Yes. Okay, so I have a little story to tell you guys real quick. My mom went to cosmetology school. And believe it or not, I have 950 hours of cosmetology school, Des. I never finished because I got accepted to medical school.
Okay.
So the reason why I tell whoever gives me services to my hair, more hair, because that means more hair coming out of my scalp, and then more hair for the person who's doing my hair, because it's more business and income for them. So that was way back in the 60s. So so you guys need to start saying that too. So Des, thank you for coming on. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
I'm really, really excited. So Des, we're going to get started right away. Tell us a little bit about Desiree.
Okay. So I have probably been doing hair. My name is Des. My name is Desiree. I am a salon owner out in salon downtown Birmingham, Wave Style Lounge. And I also own a celebrity mobile styling company called DEZ, and where I service clients in different locations across the world, who are some A-list and B-list celebrities. So the basis pretty much of my career here is I probably started trying to hair about 12 years ago, maybe 13. And I grew up around here. My mom did hair. I've been in the hair salon my whole life. And I really enjoy taking a beautiful canvas and making it even more beautiful. So that's pretty much how it kind of started.
All right. So tell us about Suede. Tell us about the services you provide. And first of all, I would love for you to tell us how you came up with the name.
Okay, so that's funny. A girlfriend and I were talking, and I was like, I have an idea to open a salon, and I want the name to be something that people can remember, something easy, preferably one word or something like that. And I was like, something they can touch or feel that seems tangible. And so she was like, well, let's think of some things. And the word Suede, the actual Suede came through, but there was another salon called Suede. But I really liked the way it sounded. And I was like, I love that. I love Suede. And she was like, well, change the way you spell it. And she was like, I mean, there's other ways you can spell it. I'm like, yeah. So we went through a couple different spellings, and then we ended up with Suede, S-W-A-Y apostrophe D, the apostrophe D being for Des. The sway part came from sway, like your hair can sway back and forth. So it just became a thing. So it just kind of happened like that.
So when we get our hair done and we're finished, we say we just been swayed.
Right. Exactly. You know, they say slayed now, but we've been saying sway for a while. So
yes, we have. Yeah, let them know that for sure. Okay, so you already told us about how long you've been in business. So tell us about a little bit about your clientele. You already told us that you do A and B celebrities and you travel around and stuff like that. So tell us about what you do in the Metro Detroit area. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, currently my clientele consists of every type of woman of some sort of substance you could imagine. I think I have a very extensive, amazing clientele. They are the reason that I enjoy doing what I do. Anywhere from young mothers who are working with 4 and 5 children to executives, from pastors to doctors to college students. I mean, the gamut is just, it's broad. But the main thing for me with my clientele is that I more so cater to people who have textured hair or, textured hair of some sort and want to maintain a stylish and appropriate appearance, but still have healthy hair.
Yes, because I have to tell you guys my testimony when I came to her. My hair was toe up from the flow up, and I had like we are no longer doing chemicals, Dr. Grace, and I need my edges to look. She was like, this is her face. This is how she say no.
No.
That's it. So I have been going to her for a while now. She is also, I would call her a weave extraordinaire. Oh my God. So, when I started coming to her, we decided to do weaves to get my hair a break and a rest and for it to grow out. So tell us a little bit about the different weave techniques that you have, because you just don't do sew-ins. So no. I think I really do believe that people out there need to know what other types of services that you provide in regards to hair extensions.
Okay. So I do actually specialize in hair extensions, and I do the braided sew-ins, which are something that are much commonly known in the business right now. But I also have a technique that I started about maybe 7 years ago, I believe. And it's called the micro-linking technique, in which we use a silicone filled bead, and it's an empty bead. And we insert your hair inside of the bead through like a crocheting type of method. And we cause a pattern to set forth in your hair with the beads instead of a braid. So with that pattern, what we do is we are able to take a track of hair and sew across that pattern And the thing that people love about it is that it can move up and down, back and forth, because it doesn't have the thickness or tension of a braid. But it also allows you the chance to add length, to add fullness, change your texture, and you can wear it up, you can wear it down. It's very natural, and cosmetically, it's the favorite between those two. And it can also help grow your hair if you're managing it properly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember when I used to have links. I loved them because, like you said, you can pull it up and all that good kind of stuff, especially for you girls out there who need a ponytail. And
right.
you don't want your tracks to show. It's
right.
good to have a track showing.
No.
All right. Tell us about all the services that you provide at Suede.
Okay, so Suede is almost like a one-stop shop, if you could say. We have everything from esthetician services, from skincare, waxing, eyelash extensions, all the way from hair services, anywhere from haircuts, regular hairstyle, day-to-day hairstyles, extensions, colors, even to treatments that we also have partnered with Bethesda to do hair growth treatments and get them on regimens, vitamin regimens. So we have all of that incorporated in our hair options, as well as we have massage therapy. And the other gamut of Suede Style Lounge that many people don't know about is that we have a concierge. So we partner with Birmingham Concierge. So we do things like cleaners pickup, grocery shopping, peace of mind visits, book tickets for travel, car washing while you're having services done. All these things are done at Suede while you're at Suede, while you're not at Suede, as well as the concierge that goes like faxing, email. You have Wi-Fi to do things that you need. It really is a place that's fit for a woman who has everyday things going on, as well as business. It's for your professional, it's for your mother, it's for those that know that they have to multitask and need to get more than one thing done. And it gives them a chance to spend some time with themselves and for themselves as well.
All right. So you already talked about the next two that was on our list.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. So tell us where you said you're downtown Birmingham. So tell us, if someone that's under the sound of my voice wants to contact you and get services, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, we're located at 600 North Oak Woodward. We are in the back of the building. So a lot of times when you hear 600 North Oak Woodward, you pull up to the front and you're like, where are you? So we're located tucked in the back of the building. We are at the north side of Old Woodward, which means we're north of Maple. We're at the total end of downtown Birmingham. It's the last strip of buildings right before you get back to the big Woodward. And we're kind of catty corner across from Lux, which is a restaurant that a lot of people know of, Lux Bar and Grill in Birmingham on Old Woodward. Or we're directly underneath Cafe Suco, which is another, hot little eating spot that people know about that is right there in downtown Birmingham.
Okay, so let's talk about our partnership. I don't even know how that even started. How did that even start? I mean, I can't even remember how that started.
You became a guinea pig. We were like, let's try some stuff. Let's try some stuff. And it went well. It did.
Yeah, okay, I remember now. Okay. I mean, I was working I was working for someone, and I was in a whole lot of stress.
Yes.
And it was like this part up here just totally came out. I remember.
Yes.
And so I must show some before and after pictures, because I do have some before and after pictures for myself. So I remember your face, like, Dr. Grace, we got to do something about this.
We got to do something.
Yeah, so when we started working with me, we were like, hey, maybe some other your clients can benefit from it. Mm-hmm. So I think we just started from there and never looked back. So
we didn't.
No, we never looked back. So let me tell you how the program works, guys, because most oftentimes what happens with people with any type of hair loss, especially with women, there's something going on the inside first.
Absolutely.
Most of the times from dermatologists, now this is not a bash on dermatology or anyone like that. What they want to do, they want to start treating it from the outside. They want to do shots. They want to give you topicals. There's a whole bunch of people that want to give you different type of oils and stuff like that on here. All those things are fine. But we at Suede and Bethesda, what we do, we go on the inside first. We want to find out, why is that hair coming out? Is it your medication? Is it your hormones that are off? Is it your is it your cortisol, which is a hormone that most people don't talk about, which is just one of the stress hormones, is it way off the chart? That was my situation. My cortisol was off the chart. And so what we do naturally, we address those problems from a natural perspective, give you supplements and stuff like that. We also do vitamin testing.
Yes.
And the vitamin testing that we do lets you know what you're deficient in. And most oftentimes, people that have hair issues, have hormone problems, and also have biotin deficiency. Now, one of the things I want to talk about too, we even had some situations where we had clients, men that had male pattern baldness.
Right.
We even had a client. You want to tell us about the client that had got the transplants?
Yes. We had a client, a male who was in his early 40s, who had experienced male pattern baldness, and he decided that he wanted to look into some options to help grow his hair in, and he ended up at doing hair transplant. He was not a fan of the Propecia or some of the other medications or supplements that they have been prescribing, and so he tried this. And what ended up happening is, even with the hair transplants, he just was not satisfied. It was almost as if he would have to continue to go back and get more and more transplants. Then it also left him with a slight bit of a scar across the back of his head, which wasn't that attractive. And then so that part of his hair he had to kind of keep a little longer than normal. So what we decided to do was, we said we had such good R&D on the women that we had dealt with, on the women clients, and just how fast their hair turned around, honestly, that he was like, I'll try it. And then Dr. Grace met with him and did an assessment, and we went forth, and the biotin actually held on and did even better in the male clients, to me, faster than it did with the women.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things you said, even scientifically, that took place was that the testosterone held the biotin inside of their systems longer. And so because of that, he was able to see the benefits of the biotin injections. I mean, within months. I mean, it was probably 2 months. He saw a much bigger difference there than he did with even the hair transplant growing in.
Okay, and another thing I want to say, a lot of people wonder, how do we get the biotin in? Please invite and share, guys, when you come on. A lot of people think we inject it in the scalp. No, we don't do that. Let me tell you, this is my perspective on that again. I don't understand how traumatizing the scalp can grow. Now, out there, they say that they can do hair to grow, but if you have someone that's already have a weak follicle, and you're just ramming needles in there, which will cause your body's natural immune system to say, hey, we have an injury there. We need to go there and heal that area, which also sends all those cells there to do a healing process, to me, which also causes inflammation and can eventually cause scarring, because you need that area to be healed from the trauma that has been done by the needles. So I don't believe doing scalp injections. So what we do, the needle goes into the hip, which is, we call the IM, the top part of the buttocks. And I know some people are out there, oh, I hate needles. I'm scared. It happens so quick and so fast. By the time you realize that I shot you, it's over.
It's true. I get them all the time. It's true.
Over. So one of the things that I tell people too, because when you take the biotin capsule or the tablet, being that most supplements are not FDA regulated, okay? And I want to do a disclaimer out there. The things that we're saying today only put your body in a position to promote healthy hair growth. We can't guarantee hair growth. We cannot guarantee, say that this is the end all and that it works, because then we'll be saying something that's against the law. So we can tell you what happened and the results that we have, but we can't make any guarantees. So I want to say that up front right now. So, but anyway, let's get back to the biotin. When you take it, it has to be swallowed. It has to go into the stomach. It has to be broken down in the stomach. Then it has to go through the GI tract and then transfer from the GI tract into the blood system, and then go to the blood system and go to that follicle to give the biotin nutrient that it needs. That's a whole lot. So what we have decided with the biotin injections, it goes right to the muscle, which is the next thing best to the vein. So it bypasses the GI tract. So you get that amount of biotin that we put in you to go to that follicle.
we scientifically cannot prove how much biotin is going to a follicle based upon the milligram dosage by it being ingested. So I think that's why we get such amazing results in as far as putting your body in a position to grow the hair, along with addressing the deficiencies that a person may have. So another thing that we want to talk about also, we also do vitamin infusions.
Yes.
One of my favorites. Because I have a lot of clients that come up to me that may not even have hair issues. And we give them those infusions. And Des, you have a testimony you want to share sharing with your 100 jobs that you have, vitamin infusions helped you.
Tremendously. Just toward the end of last year, I actually found myself in the hospital over a weekend, which is very unlike me. I'm not a person that tends to get sick often at all. So it really threw me because I was very concerned, like, wait a minute, me in the hospital, I went to the hospital and I was not completely settled or satisfied with the diagnosis that I was given. So I reached out to Dr. Patterson, who is my doctor, my confidant sometimes. And I expressed her what was going on, and in the emergency of everything that I went. So she said, let me get your testing redone. It's been a while. We did some testing, and she found some deficiencies that at the end of it all was the root of it, and that the symptoms I was having were more closely identified to my deficiencies versus the diagnosis that the hospital had come up with. And what I learned, so from that, she was able to put together a vitamin cocktail that was efficient for me and sufficient for what I needed. And since then, she put me on a regimen of all natural supplements and things like that, and cell-generative type of supplemental things to take. And I have noticed a tremendous difference, just not even in what I was dealing with prior, my symptoms before, but just in my day-to-day. I mean, I'm up, I have more energy, and I tend to work a lot of hours a day. Most of the time people are asleep. I'm like still burning the oil, but this time I don't feel like I'm burning the oil. I have the energy and I have what I need to continue to go forward. And I really believe that those vitamin infusions do it, because pill taking for me, number one, I'm not good at remembering to take it. I mean, I'm being honest. You know, we get all, and then who wants to take 12 pills a day? You know, at the end of it, the type of food that we're eating is not going to have the nutrients that we need. So you have to use a lot of supplements to kind of make it in this environment that we're, you know, dealing with right now. So with the infusions, it gives me opportunity to not be so hell-bent on taking a pill, on, you know, wrecking my brain, or when I'm going to get home to get it. You know, did I take it with food? Some you can't, some you can. Did I take too much of this? So all those things have been X'd out, and I'm able to, you know, feel good immediately. And I mean, it's almost like you wake up like a new person. I mean, especially right after the infusions. So I think they're amazing. I am like all for them.
Okay. Thank you for that testimony. So one of the things that we also do at Bethesda, and we also partner with Suede about, I love the cocktail parties.
Yes.
So you want to tell them a little bit about what we do in regards to the cocktail party? Is the vitamin infusion was created by this gentleman, last name, his name was Meyer, and it's called the Meyer's Cocktail. So what I came up with is a little thing called the cocktail party. It's not really turning it up, but it's really getting infused up with some vitamins. You want to tell a little bit how we go about doing that?
Yes. So for me, I'm one of those people that when something's good, I share. And literally my life turned around. Like I said, inside out, I was so much better. I was sharing some of the things that I had experienced with some clients of mine, and over time it just picked up. More and more people were interested. And so Dr. Grace and myself, we were talking, as we always do, about different ways to make things better and easier on everyone, especially supporting our fellow female entrepreneurs and business, you know, owners, and just period, really. But just in that vein, we kind of came up with an idea. We said, listen, versus having the doctor go to each and every location, which I love about Bethesda, because she will come to you, she makes things she's professional. She makes things comfortable for you, and I love that about Bethesda because Dr. Patterson, you coming and traveling to a place that's convenient for me, when I have such a help. So, anyways, we said, well, instead of having her go all different places, we gather together people that are interested and we do these cocktail parties, and it has been a hit. I mean, people are so ready, and it's a good time because you get to come together. She takes you off separately. You have your own confidential assessment done, but then you come back and it's almost like a party. I mean, you're not tossing them back, but like she said, she's infusing you up and you get your injection. The IVs don't take that much time at all. And you're able to talk with your friends. It could be something for coworkers. It could be for friends. It could be for, people who are in the same area. I mean, whatever your commonality is that you can get together and get in one place and get it all done. Really a beneficial opportunity to get taken care of in one great place.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And how, if someone under the sound of our voice wants to come and get services from you, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure. You are welcome to find us on Vagaro, Vagaro, which is it's a style appointment app that we are a part of and website. And you can just type in Suede Style Lounge. It'll pop up right there. You're welcome to book online and show the services that are available and the available times for each particular operator. Or you're welcome to call us at 248-646-SWAY. So that's 248-646-7929. And book an appointment through our desk. And one of the managers' names is Garrett. He's amazing. He's always good at getting you in whenever he can with the best of who we have.
Yes, I love Garrett, especially with my schedule. If I have to call him back, be like, Garrett, I got to change. He's like, calm down, Dr. Grace.
He's good.
Yes, they're very, very accommodating. And that's one of the things. I look forward to coming to get my hair done.
Oh, thank you.
Early morning appointment on Saturday before I go to church, but I really look forward to getting up, having my cup of joe, relaxing, and getting myself ready for service. And it doesn't bother me that it's so early because it's like I look forward because the environment. I mean, it's very relaxing, very professional, very clean, very stylish.
Thank you.
Let's not forget that part. I mean, put feet up literally while you're getting your hair shampooed. How about that?
Yes.
So I am so excited about you being on tonight. Did we cover everything already on our list? That went by really, 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 really fast. I want to tell you guys about a product that we have from Bethesda. I think, DEZ, you're on it. You're on the Cytoactives.
Yes.
The main ingredients in there is CoQ10 and I always not say this right. Tocotrienols. I think I'm saying that right. And the tocotrienols is a high grade vitamin E. I didn't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
You told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that the CoQ10 does, and any of you that's under the sound of my voice that are on any type of medication, especially if you're on a cholesterol-lowering medication like a simvastatin or pravastatin or anything like that, that has a tendency to make your CoQ10 go down. So the Cytoactives will be one of the ones that you would need to help supplement that. And being that the tocotrienol, which is a high potent vitamin E, it is good for skin, hair, and nails. So I do highly recommend, not even talking about the energy that the Cytoactives give you. It is off the chain, it's off the chart. And then
it is.
On also the, I think we also put you on the Osteogenesis, the anti-aging.
I am on, yes. Let me see. I have exactly what I'm on because I take them. Yes, I'm on the Osteogenesis, yes.
Okay, now the isogenesis, I think I talked about this on one of my anti-aging segments. What it does, it provides what we call telomere support. And then people are like, what is a telomere? A telomere is like a little cap on the end of your DNA. And as we get younger and younger, that telomere cap gets shorter and shorter. And shorter as that telomere cap gets, it's associated with disease. And when it gets to a certain length, it is equivalent to us passing away, death. So, and there's been studies about that, and there is so many people out there now that have telomere support products. At the blood testing now that we can provide through one of our vendors that can actually test your telomeres to tell you where your telomeres are. And at the same time, we provide supplementation to help support that telomere staying at that length. Again, we can't say that it's anything to diagnose or treat or prevent or anything, but they're all to put your body in a place where you can have optimal health for you to be able to function ultimately throughout your day, throughout your life, however you want to look at it. But tonight we will want to talk about the cytoactives. You can just go on and to our website and get that. You just push the product button at www.bw-center.com. But I also want to tell you guys there's a free download tonight. The free download is about 100 hair tips. Now, I actually read through those, and some of those I knew about, and some of those I didn't. Mm-hmm. Some of those, DEZ, we're going to have to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. At it?
Yeah, I looked at it.
Okay, so some of those, they're all natural. There's no anything that's on there that's pharmaceutical or anything like that. All of it is all natural. Now, one of the things that DEZ do recommend that people stay away from is coconut oil on the hair.
Yes, coconut oil and olive oil are two very misunderstood products that people use on their hair, and all it does is it goes in, clogs the follicle. And that is a main reason for a lot of hair loss and thinning, is because what happens is something we talked about earlier is whenever we have something that either pierces the epidermis or the stratum corneum, which is the top layer of the skin, and then you have the sebaceous gland that provides this oil from under, and then you have all the dirt and the flaking and the chemicals that you've used throughout. You add that extra oil that it doesn't actually get pressed out fine enough to do anything. It's not absorbed, it just lays on top. Mm-hmm. So now what you're doing, you're clogging up your follicle, and so now here you have a follicle that over time continues to be weaker and weaker and weaker, and get finer and finer and finer because it's not able to breathe. It's too much oil in there. Clean it enough. It just doesn't do good. You have to use oils that are finely pressed out. The best oil to use for hair, honestly, is the most purest jojoba oil you can find, because it is able to be pressed out fine enough that it's actually absorbed by the hair shaft through the cuticle to the cortex, and it does not clog the follicle. And so one thing that I actually have recently been seeing that seems to be good for people, especially on your scalp, when people say, I need to oil my scalp. I'm not a big fan of oiling scalps, but if you do need to oil your scalp, I say use aloe vera mixed with jojoba oil. Mm-hmm. That's a good mix for you if you need some oil on your scalp.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'm going to try that. So all the stuff that you see out there, the products, I've seen like castor oil and what is black castor oil and all
black castor oil. Yeah. And that's not a bad product to use. I will say this, I have seen in short amount of times people using on the edges of their hair, and I've seen it, I guess be beneficial. But again, I'm this type of person. I truly believe that what works. You don't have to come up with a whole bunch to do, because sometimes we overdo it. Our body naturally creates the oils that we need. But when you put something on there continuously and supplement it too much, then it teaches your body that it does not need to create those natural things that it already creates. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. That is so true. So one of the things that I do almost every show, DEZ, I talk about water.
Yes. I preach water. That's it for me. I preach water.
Yeah, so we're talking about healthy hair from the inside out. So all of you guys that are faithful medical Mondayers, I call you, you have to drink your body weight divided by 2.2. So you just got to get the water in. So unfortunately, the more you weigh, the more you have to drink. So you have to get that water in. So it's good for nourishing all your cells from the top of the head to the soles of your feet. So including your crown, which is your hair, it needs moisturizer from the inside out. So let's talk about a little bit about moisture. We talked about the scalp and different oils. So what are some of the moisturizers that you actually recommend? Because I know when I come to you, you know how style actually show you what they're using. But I know that tell them about the conditioning and the steam treatments that you provide, because I am faithful at getting those, and I've had a tremendous turnaround in my hair by using that treatment. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, and I've noticed that some people have posted some comments, Dr. Grace. So after I talk about the steamer, do you mind if I answer some of their questions?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So with the steam, so Dr. Grace brings up one of my favorite treatments, and it's something that if you're a first-time client, I require you to get it, because what it does is the steamer is basically, it looks like a hooded dryer, but it's not. Instead of pushing out heat, it pushes out steam. So it's a purified water that's put into the machine, and it heats it up, and then it puts a ring of steam around your head, so it covers the entire crown of your head. What I like about it and why I promote it is because, number one, the biggest thing, like you just said, that we miss in our body, period, is water. A lot of people don't drink enough. And what they don't understand that water does that nothing else can do is it purifies things, because it cleans things out. So all the toxins and things that you have in your body, when you're drinking the appropriate amounts of water, you're flushing a lot of that out of your system. So you're not holding that in. So then it gives a cleaner canvas for when you are getting supplements and you are eating properly to be able to, work and do what it's supposed to do. So as well as having water on the inside, I believe in water on the outside. So what the steamer does basically is anytime your hair is given to some type of form of heat, it raises the pH level. And when you say raise the pH level, people say, well, what does that mean? So I like to make it as simple as possible. If I held my hand like this and we pretended that my hand was much longer than this, right? I would say this is the hair. This is basically the hair shaft. What you see my fingers around it would act as the hair cuticle, which is the outer layer of the hair shaft. Inside of the hair shaft is what you call the cortex. So that would be the fat meat of my hand. Now, everybody has a cuticle and a cortex. People who have coarse hair have what's called a medulla, right? And that's a strand that sits inside of it. Everyone does not have that. But so if you have it or not, what the steam does is when the heat hits it from the water being warm and the steam, it opens the cuticle up. Whenever your pH level opens, your cuticle starts to do like this, right? So what this allows to happen with the hair shaft is that when the cuticle is open, you can deposit and you can take out, right? When the steam has your hair open like this, your hair shaft like this, whatever treatment we put on your hair before you got under the steamer goes inside and it touches into the to the cortex. I don't know if I said that right earlier.
You did.
Okay, to the cortex. And so what happens is the cortex is where your proteins and all of that, that's what it's made up of. So the things that you're missing, that treatment goes in there and it fills it in. So what happens is, get out of the steamer, and as your hair cools down, it starts to close back up like this, and it closes down. So the cooler your hair gets, the more your pH level goes back down, and it starts to regulate. Well, the cool thing about it is once it starts to cool down, when we take you to the shampoo bowl to rinse you, everything that we deposited doesn't rinse off. So what's on the outside, what's on the cuticle rinses off. And then what went into the cortex stays in. So it gives you a fuller hair strand now, right? Which we all complain about thinning hair. It gives you a fuller hair strand. It gives you more shine because most of us haven't had enough water. So water is what makes your hair shine. It's not oil. But people don't know that. It's the hydration that makes your hair shine. So that causes your hair to be shinier, and it moves more because it's fuller. It's not as fine. It's not as, it's not as dry. So now that it has more moisture, it moves more. It's fuller. It shines more. And so that's why we like to do the steam treatments. I always say for first-time clients, they go, why do I have to sit under this thing? And I go, because it gives me a better head of hair to work with. Because I don't know where you came from. So, and it's true. So now that you have this good, great head of hair to work with now, then your ends aren't as split, because what it does is when it fills in, it closes up those ridges. It fills in those little spots. And so the steamer is one of the best things you can do on the outside, but water is the best thing you can do on the inside.
All right, Des. That was amazingly explained. Y'all got to give her some thumbs up on love and some hearts and something, because that was amazingly explained. So if you want to go ahead and start answering some of those,
Yeah.
Want me to read them to you?
I see a couple of them, so I don't know if I found the very first one or not, but I'm just going to touch on a few of them. I'll kind of put them together.
Okay.
So a question was about the olive oil hair sheen. Is that bad too? Hair sheen's no good. It doesn't help you. It's no good. You don't need it. If you do want to just have, if you're in a situation where you have a hairstyle and you just want it to look like it's shiny, hair sheen it up. But if you stick with water and you do the things that Dr. Grace has told you to do, like checking into your deficiencies, if you get that type of stuff in order, you won't ever need hair sheen. I mean, when have you ever seen me use hair sheen, Dr. Grace?
Never.
Never.
No.
So I don't want to say it's bad. It serves a cosmetic purpose, but as far as helping your hair to be healthier or to keep it from being dry, hair sheen's not doing it. The olive oil shampoo and conditioner, I would say this. Anytime you're dealing with a shampoo and conditioner, number one, you need to find out what state your hair is in, because everybody needs a different shampoo and conditioner. Okay? I don't know what the full ingredient is, like what their ingredient list is for olive oil shampoo, because it might possibly have a little bit of olive oil, but if it's something else that's more predominant, that might be a helpful situation. I just don't know what's in it all the way. So I would say do your research. I'm not a fan of olive oil, but I'm not saying that it's terrible. It's just when you take olive oil on your hand and you put it on your scalp or in your hair and you blow it out and you use it as your day-to-day oil, it's no good. It's not doing you any favors. So I would say scratch it. It's not, I mean, you don't need it. You just need a good shampoo and conditioner depending on what type of hair situation you have going on. Do you have a dandruff issue? Is your hair dry? Is it brittle? Is it too oily? Some people have hair that's just too oily. It gets oily too fast. Number one, I would try to stick with shampoos that are sulfate free. And be careful when you use a shampoo that lathers a lot. That's not a good shampoo. When you have a shampoo that as soon as you put it on your hair, you just got all these bubbles, that's not really a good shampoo because it's stripping your hair. So keep that in mind. So no to coconut oil, definitely no to olive oil. So if you have dandruff, a couple things that you can do. A person that has dandruff, you need to know, first of all, is it dry scalp or is it dandruff? Two different things. And you need to make sure that it's not like a dermatitis issue, or, and I think Dr. Grace could speak more on that, or something of that nature. And if it's not, and it's just more of like a dry scalp type of thing going on, you have to understand that the top layer of the skin of your scalp, which is the stratum corneum, which is the top of the epidermis, it sheds every 30 days no matter what. It's supposed to naturally. Just what your body does. That's a part of cell regeneration. That's a good thing. What happens is we tend to scratch it up because it itches. When we have hair growth, when our hair is in that growth phase, it itches. So we get to scratching. And so like Dr. Grace made a point earlier that anytime you puncture or you cause any type of rift to your epidermis, your body's going to automatically want to heal it. So if you're shedding skin and you're scratching it up, we take combs and scratch it up all the time, and we take that olive oil and put it right on top of there, clogging the pores and messing up the stratum corneum. Anytime you have dandruff and you start scratching it up, it's going to cause your skin to want to promote more growth, so you're going to get dandruff all the time. But I guarantee you, for 90 days, you leave that dandruff be, you shampoo your hair properly, and you drink way more water than whatever you're drinking, the dandruff will start to subside and it won't be the way that it had been. Grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is not bad. Grapeseed oil is good because it can be finely pressed out. It's not my number one choice, but it is a much better oil than olive oil.
Okay, let me couple of shout out to people that signed on that I didn't say hello to earlier. I see some people on here. Hey Malachi, thank you for joining on. Trina, Rita, thank you for joining on. Thank you so much. Catherine, Maria, Manrique, thank you for a faithful Medical Monday person. LaQueta, thank you so much. Faithful, always here every Monday. Lawrence, thank you so much. Tesla, thank you for joining in. Thank you for the question again, LaQueta. I really appreciate that. Phyllis, thank you. Lanita, thank you so much. Destiny, Garrett. Hey, Garrett, we just got.
Hey, Garrett.
Hey, Garrett, I love
We're just giving you shout outs.
Yes, we gave you a big shout out talking about how wonderful, a wonderful manager you are. Thank you so much and being so accommodating. Cheryl Campbell is one of the persons I referred you to. Her haircut was so sharp that even when she didn't have it come curls, I'll be like, girl, come over here. And she would come over to me at church and I'll put my fingers through it. And then she'd be like, oh, Dr. Grace, I love this haircut. So yeah. And new Juanita, thank you. Doris Eads, thank you for joining on. Please invite and share because we have a whole bunch of information. Mycia, thank you. She's on here faithfully every Monday. Oh, Sarenthia Harris, which is co-pastor Talise Harris. She has her own product line
Okay.
for hair too, guys. You need to check her out too. Karonda, Eulela, thank you for being on. Sunny B, thank you for joining on. Please invite and share. We have so much information here on the night that is very, very, very beneficial. So again, we're going to talk about, because I don't want the men to be left out. We talked a bit about the client that we had before. Could you explain, or do you want me to explain however we go? Because I know you're well knowledgeable from the inside out. She just doesn't do your hair, guys. She really has done her study and research on situations in regards to hair care from the inside out, about what is the cause of pattern baldness. The DHT. You want me to talk?
Yeah, I'll let you talk about that.
Okay, well, the DHT is as a precursor to developing the steroid testosterone. Okay, and so what winds up happening, you could have too much of it and it destroys the follicle, and that's when the hair comes out. But one of the things that I have been noticing within these last 2 to 3 decades too is a lot of men have too much estrogen. So it's
good point.
It has too much estrogen, so the DHT level goes up really, really high because it needs more testosterone to balance out the estrogen that they're getting. So you're like, Dr. Grace, where are they getting all this estrogen from? The meat that you eat. Yes. So the hormones that they put in the animals, be it beef, they even put estrogen in chicken, guys. I think I told you guys this before on one of our Medical Mondays. They inject the chickens with estrogen, and guess where they get the estrogen from? Horse pee. Did you guys know that? But they do. So anytime if you're not eating antibiotic-free, hormone-free meat, you are eating hormones. You're eating not only hormones, you're eating antibiotics, and you're also eating steroids. So the next time you have a piece of Popeyes, I shouldn't have said that. Some fast place that doesn't have organic chicken, you're eating horse pee. How about that? So, but anyway, let's get back to the DHT. So the DHT levels go high, and it's not producing enough testosterone fast enough. So it goes to the follicle, and that's where you get that male pattern baldness. And guys, it is genetic, and you get that gene from your mother. You can't blame it on your dad. You get the gene from your mother. But if your dad has a male pattern baldness, guess what? Most oftentimes the men's children that have their children, they don't get the male pattern baldness. They get it from the gene from their mom. But a lot of people say you can't fight genetics, but I'm a firm believer that's what we're being told, but I really do believe you can, because most oftentimes, listen to this, getting off the subject, but a little bit on the subject, let's talk about cancer for a minute. Cancer is genes that are turned on that should not be turned on. There's people that have the cancer gene but never develop cancer because that gene is never turned on. Okay. So what causes that gene to turn on? It can be environmental. It can be from the foods that we eat, the environment. That's from cleaning products to whatever that is out there, from sunlight. That's where they tell us to put the sunscreen on to protect us from the UV lighting, which is a whole nother story. We UV lighting and protecting ourselves so much that all of us, vitamin D is low. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, I said all that to say that I do believe that genes you can reverse some things if it's done properly. I really do believe our medicine can be our food, and at the same time, even the best vegan still needs to supplement, because the reason being is because we live in such a capitalistic society that we're supposed to farm the land for 7 years and then let it rest. And you need to rotate your crops. Even organic farmers need to do that. They need to rotate. You should never grow the same thing in the same spot twice. But how often does that happen? Most, if you go now to driving on your trips, what are the most fields that you see? Cornfield. That's all you see. So I just wanted to let you guys know that for the men. So we do have what we call DHT testing to see what your levels are. And then we can actually find out what those levels are, and we can help supplement you naturally to get your body in the ultimate state to grow hair. Now, we can't make any claims and we can't make any guarantees, but we know the biochemical process to let us know what we need to do to address that situation. So for those of you under the sound of my voice that every time you wake up, your hairline going back further and further, you probably need to give us a call. So you could either contact us at 248-356-1111. That's 248-356-1111. So we can get you started on finding out what's going on from the inside out, and we can go from there. Now, I also say this on every show too as well. Those of you under the sound of my voice that do have insurances, you got to call the 1-800 number on the back of your card and see if they pay for alternative services, which means non-traditional services, which like the holistic stuff that we're talking about. There's some insurances that do, because they're all now looking at preventative ways to keep you healthy. So they may have something on there that you can call and ask and see if we could utilize that. But most oftentimes when you decide to go the natural route, the non-pharmaceutical route, you have to pay cash. So I just wanted to put that out there too. So is there anything else, any more comments that you've seen, Des, or anything?
Yeah, and I think I just wanted to reiterate a couple things before we're asking for us to repeat. Well, one quick thing, knew Juanita mentioned why his hair turned gray. There are various reasons that hair turns gray. I think scientists have their hands full right now because everyone's trying to figure out how to stop it. There's no way really sure to stop it. But what I can say is environmentally, the same things that Dr. Grace talked about as far as when there's a gene inside of you, because most of the time people who prematurely gray, it's genetic, or it has something to do with your ethnicity, because Caucasians tend to gray faster than Asians. African Americans and certain other nationalities tend to gray a lot less fast, maybe, if I'm saying that right. So it's no real like special way to stop gray. I think whoever comes up with it, they'll be multi-trillionaires.
I'm believing God.
I hope I'm on the team.
I know.
So for that question, I mean,
yes. But it is due to a deficiency, and it is genetic. My mother's hair is totally white. You know that, Des. So
yeah.
I'm going to go down that white road. I believe I would look sexy and cute with some white hair. But at the same time, I'm vain. I hate when my edges are like silver or white, and it's like it look like I have a cotton strip around my head. It's not. It's my hair. So I know from my own testing when I started graying, I noticed that I was deficient in vitamin B12 and copper. Those were the two, and zinc.
Zinc. I was gonna say zinc has a lot to do with it.
Right. So if whoever comes up with that, I'm working on that. So I'm believing God to allow us to work on that together, so we can.
Yeah, I'll be a part of that team.
Yes. What else on there?
So for the oils that I was mentioned earlier, I was trying to try to stay away from oils such as olive oil and coconut oil. My favorite option for oil that I have seen work for years. My mother started using it when I was a kid, and I saw her clients do very well with it, and we've used it in our homes, and I still use it to this day. Is the pure, fully pressed out jojoba oil, and that's spelled with a J. So that's Jojoba. Jojoba oil is how it's pronounced. And a little, natural home remedy that people can use when they say, oh, they need to oil their scalp, or they feel like they have a little bit of dry skin on the scalp, is the aloe vera mixed with the jojoba oil. So I hope that helps the people that were asking for the oil again. And then I see something about there was a question about a clay. I'm not familiar with that particular type of clay, so I can't expound on that. I don't know if you can, Dr. Gray.
No, I would have to look that up. They said a clay for the hair.
It was called I'm trying to see if is it bentonite clay for hair?
I don't know anything about that. I would have to research that, guys, and get back with you on that. I can talk about it the next Monday morning, Medical Monday next week before we get started. So shoot me, inbox me or message me, and so I can be reminded to research that for you. I have no problem researching anything. Contrary to popular belief, doctors do not know everything. So if I don't know, I'm going to say it. You know what? I have to look that up, and I'll do my research and get back with you. So I have no problem with doing that. It says here, for someone wearing protective styles and they still see no growth or minimal growth after taking their hair down, what could be the problem?
So number one, you need to find out what's going on the inside. I think that's the biggest thing that people overlook. We're constantly trying to fix an outside. And if you're having a leaky roof and you keep fixing the ceiling keeps caving in, clearly there's something that you need to get changed. So I would say number one, contact Dr. Patterson, Bethesda, find out, can you get some testing done, find out what underlying deficiencies there are. Number two, what I would look at, what type of process is taking place when you're having these quote unquote protective styles done, because all styles that are considered protective are not necessarily for you. It varies like anything else. You'd have to be a little more specific on what type of protective styles you're wearing for me to kind of dig into that, I would say. But again, I would always go from the inside out, because a lot of things lie within the inside first. One thing I can say, you're doing something like, just give an example of a braided sew-in, which typically tends to grow people's hair out. I mean, I've had great results with my clients with braided sew-ins, and you feel like your hair is breaking off, or it seems a lot thinner from coming out of them, then you need to find out what type of products the person is using when they're braiding your hair up. I mean, everything from the to if the needle's snagging, you need to find when you're maintaining it. Are you drying your braids when you're getting it stopped, shampooed, or are you going with wet braids? Because that is a big deal, because mold can set in on your scalp. Mm-hmm. Then also you need to look into things like the type of hair they're using on top of your braids, because if the weft is not done properly and the hair is rubbing, or the smaller hair, sometimes if you have a weft, if you notice on a track of a hair, sometimes they have smaller hair sticking out. And I recently learned this, those hairs will snag at your hair and pull your hair out of the braid, then it's breaking that hair off. So there's several things that can go into that could be eating the hair while it's braided. Mm-hmm. If that helps.
Could you do us a favor, Des? Could you explain the difference between hair breakage, hair loss, and hair shedding? What is it?
Okay. So I like to tell people, here's a way you can tell the difference. Number one, just in your day-to-day, if you're combing your hair and there's a lot of small strands, like small little pieces of hair, after you comb your hair on the sink, in your hand, around you, on your clothes, and there's some breakage taking place. If there's a lot of long strands where they feel whole, and sometimes you can see the bulb on them, then there is some type of shedding that's taking place. And then what was the third thing you asked?
And the actual hair coming out, like
okay, hair loss. So that would, that could either be hair shedding or hair loss. And so what you would know is, number one, you have to understand that hair has 3 phases in hair growth. There's the growth, there's the resting, and then there's where it basically falls out. It releases the old hair so that new hair can come in. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you can lose up to 100 hairs a day and you're fine. That's all normal. When it gets above that, then we have some concern that it might not be hair shedding, it could be hair loss. If there's one particular area where you're noticing that you can see that there's loss, then you need to go and find out what could possibly be going on, because it could be hormonal, it could be through a deficiency, it could be through, you know, a number of things, again, an internal situation. If you are having what is considered a normal shedding, which is up to 100 strands of hair a day, then that's just know that that's the phase of hair growth you're in. It should probably slow down at some point within the next, I think that phase lasts for what, 3 months or something? I can't remember the exact time. I think it's about 3 months that might last. Then within, you know, and then the hair growth phase can go anywhere from 2 to 7 years. So you should notice that hair start consistently getting longer during a 2 to 7 year span. So if you're noticing that you're never getting that 2 years, or you're always having all this shedding, then it's something like hair loss going on. It's not just a normal shedding. With the breakage, what you can do is, number one, you need to be treating your hair like we talked about, the steam treatments, hydrating it from the outside. You need to be drinking more water, hydrating from the inside. But then you need to consider what type of processes are you doing on your hair that could be causing breakage. Hair tends to only break if there's a chemical situation going on, some type of traction going on, or there is something environmental happening, like what I mean by that, ponytails. We pull our hair in ponytails with rubber bands. That will cause breakage. If you are braiding your hair with the box braids, everybody likes those, right? Well, a lot of times if that hair isn't good hair, you're using what they call, I think they have the Biba hair. It's like this synthetic hair. And if they're not putting oil on it and they're braiding your hair up, you're probably not drinking enough water anyways. Then you're sweating, you're not washing the braids, then you're going on about your day. Well, in between that time, that hair goes in and it breaks up that hair. So then you come out and you have short hair, long hair, short hair, long hair. Those type of things can cause breakage. And then if you're not trimming your ends, I know nobody likes scissors or shears, but it's necessary. Yeah. Because you really hurt yourself when you don't maintain your hair on a consistent basis. I don't believe in hair trims every appointment. And I don't believe in scheduling hair trims, because I'm light on scissors and I understand how people feel about it. But what I do believe in is getting rid of split ends, because if you don't, they continue to split.
Yes, I just want to take a moment. Your mom is on. Hey, Ming.
Hey.
Your mom is on. There's a question from a gentleman asking, is there any barbers?
You know what? Currently, we do not have a barber. We don't. So we were supposed to have one to start the year, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it over. But what we can do, Mr. Malachi, is we can connect you with an amazing barber. That's a part of our concierge system. If you call up to the salon, Garrett or one of the other managers there will definitely lead you to the right place. We have amazing barbers that we can refer you to. But as soon as we get one, we can also put you down and keep you posted.
All right. Anything else? Okay. Okay, here's one by Gwendolyn Sharp. She says, I do my hair why do my hair on its back? It gets certain length. And she says, she probably was typing real fast, so I'm gonna try to interpret what she typed. She says her hair grows back and it gets to a certain length and then it stops, but then the top and the sides continue to grow.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What side of your head do you sleep on? Are you causing tension to that area of your head? Are you a back sleeper like this? Are you a side sleeper? Because wherever you tend to have the most tension on your head is where it'll least likely grow the fastest. Then the other thing is, are you wearing wool scarves in the wintertime? Are you doing things to break this hair, or is this hair just not growing in? We would need to do an assessment to say what it is. I can't say just from, just to say, oh, it's not growing in. Is it actually not growing in, or is it growing in and you're breaking it off? So we would have to get you in for a consultation and look at what maybe some possible attributes of that would be.
Okay, I have a question about weaves. What is the number one no in regard weaves. I know you number one for you. And then my second question would be, should women continuously get weaves years after year after year after year, or should be some type of break in there?
I believe in resting times, because if the hair growth process requires a resting time naturally, your hair requires a resting time naturally, then we should give it a rest. My little program, how I do 3, 1, 3. Okay. So you can go in 3 times. You got to come out for a minute, and you go back in 3 times. Does that make sense? So that's my formula I follow. 3, 1, 3. So that means you go in 3 separate times, back to back. Then you come out for 1, go in 3 times, come out for 1. And your come out for 1 doesn't have to necessarily be a long time, but you just need to give it a break. And we need to see what's going on with it. We need to see, can it handle being in the environment without being braided up? Can it handle, manipulation again?
Right. Well, I told text you that that's the conversation when you return your servicing the stars. My consultation, because I've been out for a minute now.
You have.
I've been out for a minute now, and my birthday is coming up, so I want to go somewhere, and then I will be hitting the gym hard again. This has been a while for me. I've been having a 2-day hairstyle, which means I go get my hair done for Saturday, and then I might have it for Sunday, and then when I hit the gym on Monday, it's a wrap. So, but
it can be costly, but it's a good sign, and I tell people that because that means your hair is still reverting. So that means that it's not over processed.
Good. So what I want to do is, when you return, definitely get with you and get my consultation on what we're going to do next. This is all me, guys. This is
and it looks good.
And I really just recently got my trim. So when you talked about that trim, I'm really excited about what my hair is here and do. And another reason why I came out for the as long as I have, is because I want people to see my own hair, because I do hair care from the inside out. So I want to be a walking billboard. Hey, Dr. Grace, what are you doing? And I've had people to approach about, hey, your hair looks great. Where do you go? What are you doing? And so I'm also a walking billboard for you guys.
Thank you.
I do tell them where I get my hair done. And I was like, don't you guys know DEZ? I've been knowing her since she was knee-high from a bullfrog. But anyway, I really, really am glad that you were able to do the show. We went past 7 minutes. Oh my goodness! At 1 minute, I was like, "Hey, we have a whole bunch of time to go," and we've gone over 7 minutes. I see one comment. Hey, Lisa, Annie, thank you for joining. Yes, you can. So get your hormones checked. Please go to our website, the Cytoactives with the tocotrienols in there, which is the most high potent vitamin E that you can have in there. Go to www.bw-center.com and push the product button and type in Cytoactives, which is CYTO. Actives is ACTIVES. And get that product. I'll guarantee you that your body will feel amazing. Yes. And it will be put in a position where you can function optimally, and as a byproduct, have healthy hair at the same time.
It's true. My hair is doing great.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And of course, DEZ, give them your information where they can get in touch with you again for sure.
Okay, absolutely. Again, it's Suede Style Lounge. It's in downtown Birmingham. Our number is 248-646-SWAY. That's SWAY, and that's 248-646-7929. We'd love to have you guys in and find out what we can do to make your hair even better.
Okay, so if you guys are interested in a cocktail party, you can either call her number or my number, because we're working together as a team on this, so we can have some fun and at the same time, while you're having fun, taking care of you.
Absolutely.
Taking care of you. It is very, very important that you take care of yourself. So you can call us at 248-356-1111. Please go to the website and download that free download about hair tips. So you could take what we said tonight and maybe cross off a couple of them, especially if it talks about the oils that she highly not recommend. But it's at www.bw-center.com. DEZ.com/MM for Medical Monday. Download is free. You just have to put your name, your first, last name, your email address, and download it. And you can just go through that and read that. Again, I appreciate you guys being faithful here on Medical Monday. Next week, we have a whole new topic. You know, it's the beginning of the year and people want to talk about how to be healthy. This is a makeup show. She and I were supposed to be for the first year, but we had inclement weather that postponed us, and so we said we're going to make it up now. So please, we're going to be talking about how to release weight that people want to try to release in the most healthy is and nutritious way. So tune in for next week for Medical Monday on that. DEZ, I just want to say thank you because I know how busy you are. She only has a salon, but she does other stuff. She has other businesses, and she has children. She has a house. She has all these other things that she has to do too. So I really do appreciate you being on tonight. I'm looking forward to our consultation because she got to get out of town this week to go service the stars. I was so excited. Please keep her covered in keep her covered in your prayers because she's on the airways and on the highways and the byways and in the air a lot too. So I just want to say thank you. God bless you. And anything that I can do for you, you have my number. And
Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. It's so wonderful to see you work and share such knowledge that we often don't share with each other. I think you are such a blessing, Dr. Grace, and I'm happy to work with you, and I appreciate this opportunity.
All right, sweetie. God bless you. Grace and peace.
All right.
God bless. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.